So I'm going to give you a little bit of a secret. This is kind of an insider secret. To be honest with you guys, buying a new construction home right now is going to be the best deal in the market. Even though the home prices on new construction is going to be slightly elevated to what you'll find on existing homes, because of those interest rate buy downs that the builders are offering, you're going to find a much better deal on new construction right now in this market. So that's a little bit about interest rates and what's happening there. We're going to jump over here and talk about what's happening across the board in the real estate market. So again, if you've seen some of my other market update videos, you'll see that this chart will look somewhat familiar to you. We're typically looking at this median sold dollar sign. So this is the median sales price across the board. This particular data set, I pulled all homes from across the entire market. So this includes basically everything in northern Utah, as well as a couple, or at least some of the markets in southern Utah. So this MLS system covers about probably 90% of the entire state. So last month, our median home sales price was $524,000, 400. This is a pretty big jump up from what we saw in September, where it was about 510. You can see that the count right here is the number of homes that actually sold. Let me zoom in a little bit here. So this number right here, October 2025, we had 3,304 home sales. This has been pretty steady. You can see that it did drop slightly from the summer months, which is pretty typical. We always have that seasonality going throughout the year, but home prices did actually increase during this time. So going back to June, we were at 515, then we hit 520, we were 520 again. September was actually down just slightly, and then October we actually jumped up to $525,000. Now, this percentage right here is the percent of the sales price to the original listing price. So this gives you an idea of how much people are negotiating off of the sales price of that particular home. So we actually saw this come down to 96%, which means that even though home prices went up, in theory, homes are being priced higher, but then getting negotiated down a little bit more than they were over the previous months. And then the last category I want to look at is this one here, which is days on market. So days on market on a cumulative basis was 46, which is again up slightly from summer. Nothing unexpected there. If we actually look back to what happened last year, we'll look at October 2024. We had 3,334 home sales. So home sales were almost the same across the entire market. The median list price was 525 with a sales price of 510. So again, this number has actually increased during this time. The sales price to list price ratio was 97% back here in October, but now is 96. And days on market back in October of last year was 39. So this means that home prices are still going up, days on market is higher, and homes are being listed for a higher amount. So this is showing a lot of resiliency for sellers in the market who are saying, no, I'm going to get the price that I want for my home. I think it's worth more. I'm going to list it higher, and I'm going to try to negotiate a higher price.